with the suggestions from my surroundings, I planned a trip to the Peru to meet ayahuasca because I definitely wanted to do it in the native land. And my expectations was, I come in with a big point of ego. And when I meet the ayahuasca first time, it destroyed me completely with my thoughts, with my ego part, and showed me all my intentions. After that journey, everything was changed, I must say. Ayahuasca, in that case, it changed my life. I still remember that beautiful 6 o'clock in the morning when I came out of the ceremony room, and I just realized that I am in the place where I'm happy. And fears, they disappear. Your traumatic experience, it's always also with you and you're working with it, but you learn it from it. The medicine gave me the opportunity and I took it.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of the Psychedelic Conversations podcast. I am thrilled to have with me Yuri Magoori. He is a medicine carrier who is working in the medicine space hands-on and who has vast experience in all modalities to do with psychedelic medicines. And I'm really excited to share this conversation with you guys today. So let's welcome him into the show. Welcome.
Hello, Susan. Hello, everyone who watching this podcast. And for me, it's a great honor to be here, as I know Susan for a while. And I always wanted to share my experience, again, if it would be helpful, if it could be meaningful for someone. And I'm very honored to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you. We're honored to have you. And of course, traditionally, we begin with your story. We met several years ago and we shared some spaces, some healing spaces and experiences and exchanged a lot of conversations. So I know you carry a lot of experience and you have a lot to share with us today. So I'm excited for that. And let's talk about your background, where you're from, how did it all begin and what made you come to this space of working with the medicines?
Great, Susan. Thank you so much. And starting from beginning, let's say, now I can say in the point where I am right now, it started a long time ago. Let's say, if the time we can measure it in some point of scale, but everything what was leading me in the condition where I am right now, it was always there. Let's say this way. But the first part of the spirituality, I think, I met when I started asking myself questions, why I'm here and why I'm not happy with myself. It was a personal battle, like I'm sure everyone meeting. And I think this process is started there, in that checkpoint. And the first, what opened me as a modern human being in this 3D dimension, let's say, I opened for myself Kundalini yoga. It was in 2000 something. I'm not exactly remember that. Then I realized that yes, we are producing the energies. We can work with that, and the health, again, physical aspect and spiritual aspect, they could flow together well, because they do flowing together. And I've been practicing Kundalini yoga for a while. The same time expanding my vision, the same time learning more and be observer, I think, in that case. And as Kundalini yoga also include many breathing exercises and connecting with the asanas, I start to learn about the breath work as itself. And the holotropic breath work appeared on my path. And I was thinking, I should try it. Let's see, what is that? And it was the first great opening, because I had the rebirth stage when I was given I've been the person who given the birth and the person who's born. So I've been a mother and I've been a child at the same time, which was like really significant in my life because it's kind of clarify many aspects about my childhood also, and mother issues, let's say. And after that, I start to look more in that, and I start to practicing more. And in one point, I start to discover what is because I've always been connected with the plants on a professional way. I used to be a professional chef for a while, and again, food, its preparation, the way it's grow, how we harvesting it, how we preparing it, and the way we eating it also make a lot of sense because it's also the energy. And this is kind of lead me to the point of the plant medicine. What is that? So what we can meet if we change our consciousness using the plants, our attitude to it, and with the suggestions from my surroundings, I planned a trip to the Peru to meet ayahuasca because I definitely wanted to do it in the native land for the first time at least. And my expectations was, I come in with a big point of ego, like, okay, what is that? What else I can learn and what else I can get for myself? And when I meet the ayahuasca first time, it was absolutely incredible journey on a point of it destroyed me completely with my thoughts, with my ego part, and actually what I'm thinking in that case, that it's something more and it's something really alternative. And it showed me all my intentions, what I've been doing in that path to spirituality. Because when I started to learn it, it was kind of easy. I was like, oh, okay, it's just learning. It's all about the unicorns. But no, ayahuasca said, no, it's not about that. It's like what you feel inside, not create another illusion, which is like more often we create that illusion. We believe in what we want to believe. And the other opinion for us sometimes is not valuable because we know what we know. And yeah. After that journey, everything was changed, I must say. Ayahuasca, in that case, it changed my life. I still remember that beautiful 6 o'clock in the morning when I came out of the ceremony room, surrounded by mountains, and I lost everything in that morning on the way that I lost my wrong intention while we're doing even Kundalini. I learning about that, the breathwork, because in that moment I was trying to build up sort of guru from myself, let's say this way. And it intention, it's a fantastic practices, Kundalini, yoga, breathwork, or any practices, but the way of my intentions to it was, just to feel and feed self-ego, to cover my silliness, to cover my fears. And in that morning, again, coming back to that, I lost everything, but first time in my life, I was happy because I don't have to pretend anymore. I am who I am with all my silliness, with all my bad or good parts. I just am. And in that moment, I felt presence. After that, I was confused, I must say, because I didn't know what to do with that. Because, okay, so I lost my past, the wrong intention, let's say this way, because I see clearly the truth, what is that and how it tastes. But what to do with that? And it started to lead me because first time in my life, I think I put full trust in myself in a present moment. Like, okay, let's see what happens on a way that my intention is clear, my intention is open, and I trust the medicine and I trust the process without any background or any thoughts. And it took me in the place where I am right now. And it's also explained to me the medicine path that this is one of the most important questions, or if it's not the one question to explain in this life who I really am. And I just realized that I am in the place where I'm happy. I am the father who I always wanted. I am the man who I always wanted to see for myself. I am the helper. I am a server. I am a receiver. So, and also at the same time, with all this path, I understand that the more I know, I'm always saying that sentence, the more I know, the less I know. Because if you really limitating yourself in the knowledge, just taking, okay, this is the point where I learned something and I'm just staying there and learning more. It still take it to that square surface. It's another illusion. But if you open, and again, you take it on a practical way in a life, if you're using the skills where you are achieved from the lessons of the plants, then you understand that you just dissolve, you become everything. And fears, they disappear. Your traumatic experience, it's always also with you and you're working with it, but you're learning from it. So this is what I would say the medicine gave me the opportunity and I took it. So I'm very happy where I am now because it's only now for me. Living today, enjoyed in this life today and take the lessons of the plants, lessons of the people, lessons of everything, because we're all the one. I don't see any more difference like I would before clarify or put on different points, explaining even to myself, this is good and this is bad. Now I'm just taking it and see what I can achieve from that on a way of part of the process. So this is what I could say about my experience, but it was many practices with in general psychedelics, with let's say teenage experience when I was 18, LSD in a good point. It's also gave me a lot, and also the plant medicine as a mushrooms also opened me many gates which I were afraid to look, but at least I was somewhere near them.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing. I have so many questions and I want to bring in so many threads, but I want to highlight what you said about the plant medicines gave you the opportunity to do deep work and you took it. And I think this is like one of the main, if not the only challenge for a lot of people who are exploring the psychedelic path. It's okay to go into ceremony and have all these beautiful insights, but it's taking that opportunity to integrate and let go is whole nother work of a lifetime, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's easy to go and sit in a ceremony and receive all of the information, the insight, the revelation, secrets to your, unconscious limitations, the trauma, all of it. But what do you do with that? So, my background is mental health and somatic therapy. So I see this as we have built such a strong adaptations, coping mechanisms, that it is so unconscious to our conscious mind and awareness that it doesn't allow us to sometimes take that opportunity. It kind of requires some level of capacity, or a friend of mine who's a therapist, he would say, sometimes it takes a lot of pain to take that opportunity, So people who actually have taken that opportunity to really make a difference in their life, I feel like they had enough pain, enough suffering, enough challenges that pushed them to the edge, and they've taken the opportunity. Obviously, it's not always the case. You probably see this again and again. Sometimes you probably meet so many people who are in the current reality of suffering, pain, terminally ill diagnosis, but they're still scared to take that opportunity, to take that leap and do something. I just wanted to come back to what you said earlier about the Kundalini yoga. I would like you to tell us a little bit more about what is that practice, but also I want to talk about the holotropic breathwork. So in my circle, we talk about this holotropic breathwork a lot, and the founder, you may already know, is Dr. Stan Grove, and he developed this practice when psychedelics gone underground, and it was legalized back in the 60s, 70s, I guess. And this I've heard from people that holotropic breathwork can be as powerful, if not sometimes more powerful, in diving deep into the unconscious and into the trauma and into the limitations and things that we are not able to access on our daily consciousness. So it's fascinating that you did that, and I'm not surprised that you kind of went on this path of, then leads to. Isn't it interesting, Yuri, that this path starts way before we come to the medicines? Medicine seems like the PhD level of the journey in self-awareness, I call it. And talk to us a little bit about, let's touch on the Kundalini. How does it work? Why is it important? A lot of people talk about awakening your Kundalini energy. What does that mean if our listeners heard it for the first time?
Okay, it's a great question, Susan. Thank you for asking that, and I would be very happy to share it. Again, my experience, how I come for that and to that, and how it's helped me, because it's really, really helped me. So in the moment when I meet the Kundalini yoga, I had so many thoughts which I can't really explain to myself. And main problem what I realized working on classes and working with myself, that I can't find the personal balance. It's so many thoughts in the mind. Again, as you mentioned, PTSD and the other, let's say, traumatic experiences or somatic experiences. So the Kundalini yoga, first of all, it's helped me to find that center. So there was the place when I felt myself in a center, and I can work with that. So I can put on the side my, let's say, work worries or my family situations or anything like that. I can put everything on the side and be myself. So this is the kind of space of your personal unity. And also as it works with the breath, potentially. So you see your potential, you start to building up. So you start to feel the energy what you produce, connecting with the breath work, connecting with the presence. So I think this is the main purpose of Kundalini yoga, apart of, again, the health aspect, because it's also the Kundalini is working with the meridians. So it's, again, if we talk the physical aspect, it's working with your lymphatic system a lot. So it's toxins. Again, this is the layers of emotions you're working with that, and you're going through the breath work. So it's your solo interview to yourself and solo work. How it's slowly, transformed to the holotropic breath work, which was really interesting for me as well, because I achieved some points in Kundalini yoga when I feel with the breath work, I can really work with my consciousness and subconsciousness same time. So, and that's why the holotropic breath work appeared on the path. And I was thinking, like, I can try to go deeper, because it's for human nature, it's really common to, be hungry for knowledge. And this is absolutely normal, but it's also point of not to be greedy for knowledge. And with the holotropic breath work, again, my intention was just to look, what is that? What is my possibilities? What is my potential? How it works on me? Because after some time, I was in this pretty balanced way. So, okay, I understand this is the condition where I can go deeper. So, and I tried to open another door and use that opportunity. And it was absolutely incredible how far you can get with your own discipline, with your own work. And it's also what the main thing it showed, that we are the healers of ourselves. Even again, touching the aspect of the plant medicine, it's also showing you that you are your own healer. And with holotropic breath work, it also leads you to this secret rooms which you always been afraid to look in, but you realized with that condition, you're losing the fear. You feel your spirit, and this is still attachment with your physical presence, but at the same time, it gives you opportunity. Again, I use that word, that you can go in those rooms without fear, because you got yourself as a companion. It's also, again, connecting with the plant medicine. One of the interesting experience what I heard from one of the participants who've been working with recently, he came to the point, for him it was the biggest opening for many years, what he was trying to achieve, that he's not who he is. who he tried to create, that avatar. It's the image of the person who you try to create, but you don't feel it. You want to be him, but it's not yours. So I think the main purpose of all these techniques or all this experience is really to feel comfortable and find yourself, because not everyone is made to be a warrior. And I think in this case, when you come into the point that actually I'm a healer of myself and I'm happy with that already, I can walk with that, and I don't have to really disturb myself and believe in the image which don't exist, which we come into the truth aspect. I am who I am, and not to regret and not to try to change the truth, because you can't change the truth. Those practices, again, I would combine them in one. It was one for me. I wouldn't divide them as Kundalini yoga or breathwork, because it was leading me to some sort of point, again, repeating myself, that where I am now. So it was a process. It was a whole process. It's like a stages, level 1, level 2, level 3. And it's, no one knows how many levels are they. It's like do, as a suggestion to the people who are gonna watch this, I would say do if you feel it. Don't try to find the real reason why you do that. If you into it, you're in the process. This is the most important. And not always process give you rewards straight away. It's no point to do it for rewards. It's not the challenge, because you're challenging only yourself. And in some point of the journey, you understand that this challenge is really pointless, because you just have to be in a process, because process equals progress. Simple as that.
Yeah, that's really valuable. Thank you so much for sharing. There's so much here. So yeah, I believe that I feel the same. I think the universe brings those modalities in our paths when we kind of start or begin the momentum. And sometimes you just got to act on your calling rather than it's trendy. Because one of the things that we talk about on this show is that a lot of people come into medicine because it's so fashionable now. It's so trendy. It is so mainstream. It is so exciting, and everybody wants to try it. And everybody wants this magic healing in one ceremony. And obviously, you're coming from a very deep, deep work for years, if not, gosh, how many years, I don't know. Maybe you can tell us. But within your own work, and plus holding space for these ceremonies, from your own window of perception, like your own lens, what are you seeing now to time that you started this medicine facilitation? What has changed in the last few years? Because I have a feeling in the last few years, it's gone a bit crazy. This whole trend just kind of taken over the world. And I feel like a lot of people coming into it without understanding, without the education, without not knowing what they are putting themselves into. I bet you have so much stories to say. So what are you seeing from a few years back to now? Just your observation, if anything, whatever you feel called to share.
Okay. Thank you, Susan, for that question. I love to answer on that question. It's not always fill up the expectations of the people who expecting really philosophic and deep answer on it, because again, in my perspective, everything is very simple. The life is simple, because starting from the one of the subjects, when people saying like, I'm so overwhelmed with my problems, it's so much pain around. But if you would, as a medicine, I was asking that question for myself, why it's so unfair, why the people are fighting with each other, why we destroying the Mother Earth, like why we're destroying the house where we're living. And it was very simple answer. You just take away all the physical, like what is created by human, and leave everything what is alive. And it's going to stay only us, humans, animals, and nature. Where is the problem? It's no problem. In general, if we would look at that in that aspect. So answering the question where we are now and what how it was before. So again, in my beginning of the journey, of course, my expectations and views to the medicine was totally different. I mean, it was ups and downs, and it can't be without that. It's not like you got set intention and you doing your work and you still keep the same. It means it's no progress. You have to go down. It means something is happening. You change your opinion. That means you're growing. And as you mentioned, it's not always pleasant, which is we have to learn how to integrate with that, how to integrate with that knowledge. And it's always the position of not the main character of the game, but as observer. If you feel down, you can always stop and just watch and see what happens. This is like, again, it's the experience we're going through, and not to give up. This is very important, because I think it is this journey is about to, how to say, if you if you can't move to the right direction, at least lay down in that direction. It's already good. So take a break. Answering the question again, how's the situation has changed, that people see again as illusion of the work of psychedelics. They come in as looking for the quick solution. Real life example. We got the headache, we got the migraine. We don't want to know why it's appearing. We don't want to know the core problem of it. We don't want to heal it until it's not get worse. We're just taking paracetamol. It's not the advertisement, but we're taking the headache tablets to remove the pain. And it's the same illusion appearing in society with plant medicine or psychedelics. It's not the remedy. It's not. I'm always saying to people when I'm providing the interviews or the reading with the people, I'm saying that, as example, if we could take the ayahuasca, it's not the magic pill. It's not taking off your problems. It's not even giving you the solution in general. It's showing you the opportunities and showing you the truth. Decision is yours totally. But situation, as you mentioned, the trends, now it's going down, because what I realize, again, work with the plant medicine is a hard path, and people, again, they're still looking for easy sort of solution. They need something. I took it, I understood, very good. No one wants to struggle, and we as a human being nature, we always looking for the shortcuts, because the pain is not pleasant. But until the moment when you realize you can work with it, why you feel the pain, ask that simple questions. What makes you feel discomfortable? And in that case, you can open the question, why that and why that? And in the end, you come into the real problem of it and actually saying, like, it's painful because of this or that reason. And then you slowly start to work with the problem. So again, it's no rush with that, because we want to be, again, mention the human nature. We want to be rewarded for our actions all the time. But you just need to feel and trust that the reward is to be here and now. It's already a reward. And the situation with the plant medicine, it's really going up and down, because people are waking up. It's good, but people taking it also from the sort of wrong angle sometimes. I was asking myself as well, like, why people start to treat medicine as just the way of getting high, or just give me on that point. As my greatest friend, and I treat her as my teacher, she said to me once, I was asking, like, why people are having this attitude to medicine, like really informal, without respect, let's say, because when we work with the plant medicine, we treat it as a human. And if you would ask help from human, you would represent yourself. You will say, I'm here and I really need help right now. I can tell you my story, and if you got any opinions about this, I would happy to take them. Is it good or bad? Because that's why I'm here. I'm open for you. So let's have a conversation. And society, I don't know, it's not like they're ready or not, but we're all different. And some people come into the point, just, I'm here for healing, give me. And in this case, medicine saying, okay, you will get what you really deserve. And this is fair, I mean, in some point. So coming back to the subject, when I was asking my friend, like, what's going on with medicine, why it's like that, and she answered very simple to me: medicine will find a way. We are who we are, and medicine been in this planet since the beginning. So we really think too much of ourselves that, I'm human and I can sort everything. I know what I need, I know what I want. But the medicine find its way, because medicine don't have any conditions. It's pure, it's innocent. That's why it's unlimited. Only limited is us. So answering shortly, we can talk hours, as you said, Susan, about that. Answering shortly about this, I think the medicine will find its own way, and I think it's all these ups and downs with the trends, it's also necessary. So people can really see the truth, and people who are really open, they will divide the illusion from the truth. Because as you work in also with people for a while, and you see how easy we can become attached to our spiritual ego, feed it, and not even know that we are feeding it. We think that we are open, we think that we are creating something from ourselves. We are getting more open, we're learning more, but at the same time, we're just feeding our spiritual ego, which is the worst than really, like, let's say, human ego in a physical form, because it's much more bigger, and the surface is bottomless, basically.
Wow, that's very valuable. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Susan.
And your teacher and your friend is also my teacher and my friend. Yeah. And let's give a shout out to Neisha. Neisha had 2 episodes with us already. Neisha Silva, you guys can check it out in the video podcast series. She's awesome. She's been carrying the medicine. She's a native Peruvian. I was going to bring her up again for another conversation, but she's so super busy right now. Hopefully we can. But I always loved her opinions. I always loved her simplicity, her simplistic approach to the work. And I just love her view on the plants as well. And I mention her all the time in some of our programs as well, some of these integration programs. And what I really love about what you guys do is that humble and respectful, and also the traditional approach. Because right now we are, quote unquote, in the psychedelic renaissance. This is what's happening. Mm-hmm. Not to everybody. So I have this theory that Yuri, we flock together. So, when I hear, obviously I'm in a circle of people who are doing a lot of deep work, deep self-work, healing work, trauma work. So therefore I'm in it. So I always come across articles about trauma healing, people waking up. But then this doesn't mean that there is other worlds out there with other people who have no intention, no desire to do any of this. They don't even know that these exist, right? So I respect that. There are also worlds and peoples out there that they just go by just being a human and just live their lives, and and they're doing great as well doing that. So what I like to bring our focus is that this path is not for everybody. The medicine work is not for everybody. And like you said, if people are coming in for the trends, sooner or later, things will fall off, things will change and transmute. And those who are not ready, I call it people that don't have the inner capacity, will kind of disappear and dissolve and move away. And then those who really, have that strongest call, they'll carry on with the medicine, carry on with the facilitation. But what I see now is that there's a lot of division since the mainstream trends. I see a lot of academic, scientific people coming in. I see a lot of clinical trials are like right now exploding everywhere. All countries, I'm in touch with so many people that are carrying out these clinical settings with psychedelic, assisted therapy forms and modalities. Then I see a lot of people who are underground. They have a very different relationship with the medicines. And then we have the traditional people like you guys who come from that really humble background of understanding that we live in the nature and nature is our home and the plants are part of us. We are them and they are us. It's got that symbiotic relationship. And you guys come from this traditional background of this is a lifelong process. This is the understanding of like, you're here. I mean, so I think, just want to track back a little bit. I think I understand the problem here because in the West, people have these home setups. You have your home, your job, 9 to 5, your kids at school. You have all of these aspects of your life where you just take a moment out of your life to go to Peru and then come back. Now you're left with this, oh my God, what do I do with this information, right? So I think that's the problem. That's the problem, the way I understand it. I think the education we need is that what you guys are doing, see them as part of life. They're here forever. They've been here from the beginning and they'll be here even when we leave. So respecting the medicines and integrating them in some way or another in our lives where we can. There's nothing wrong with being a Western person, civilized person who has a 9 to 5 job and lots of kids to, school and have plans for future and goals. That's okay too, right? This is not about, you must be, one way, take the plant journey, leave everything out and become this shaman with feathers. No, you don't do that, right? You still be able to function in your life, but have the enough education and information that they are part of us. We are them and they are us. And there is no limitation in, let's not put a limitation like next summer I will be doing plant medicine. It's not like that, is it? So what do you have to say on that?
This is again another very big subject to open. And I think that regarding it's really personal attitude to it on the way of we're doing the work with the plant medicine. It's humbleness. And the other thing is the honesty, because the honesty have to be as a condition. You have to accept that, yes, you're not perfect. And in this case, come another question. Where is perfectionism in this case? Where is this end of the, of your personal growth, or the way the standard is no standards. It just is, as you mentioned again. And talking if the medicine for everyone or not, yeah, this is very, very big question, I would say, because medicine is everything. Medicine is, we're looking for this exotic parts. I'm always giving examples as from the herbalist position. I'm telling you don't have to go to Latin America if you want to heal yourself. You're just looking under your foot, what is growing, where you're stepping with your foot. You got problem of the stomach, you just stop for a second and breathe. And open your vision, just little bit learn about the plants, because it's information is everywhere. The people left us so many knowledge when they dedicate them life for the discovering the plants. Open one book and saying, okay, instead of to have the plant which has got very exotic name, I can get it from the area where I'm born. Simple example, if you got the allergy, hay fever, you just need to have the honey from your own area where you're growing up. It's that simple. Solution is always here, I would say. We just make it more difficult. Again, this is the answering on a simple way, because I found that life is simple, let's say this way, because the creator left us all the aspects of life. They would be understandable for even 5-year-old child. That's why it's very important to come back to the childhood, because when you're not overwhelmed with information, when you're not overwhelmed with opinions, with your own expectations, you're just happy, you're a child. You're running on a field, you're riding your bike, you love the sun, you love the sky, you smell the water. This is the condition when you when you can create and when you can literally listen to yourself. And sometimes the best medicine, I'm always saying, is the people also around you. This is your own healers. Like, you want to start work from your surroundings, start work from yourself. How many of us in very simple basis not saying hello to our neighbors because why should I? Start from that. Start to say hello and see the difference. You're saying once, your neighbor ignoring you. You're saying 10 times, he look at you. You're saying 20 times, he's saying good morning. That's it. That's the result. You don't need to expect like something we create in your mind. Let's say this way, switch off your mind. Just be present. If you have a good day, send to people message at least. Guys, all of you on the Facebook, love you very much just because of today. This is the healing. This is also the healing. It's if we take off the the aspect of if we take the psychedelics as a remedy or the escape or the shortcut, because sometimes I see this that people are looking for that on the way of the quick solution, but when they experience that, they find it's not a quick solution at all. It's a process. You just have to be into the process. That's all. Very simple. Just find your own way, because it's no rules in that case. We create our reality. We create our rules. We are part of the creator. So we are creators. We just need to breathe out and start with the breathe in and go into that, to the new stage, let's say. At least I see that in that way. So
yeah. That's wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. And also, I'm hearing this. It is not that you do this work for 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, 1 time, 2 times, 5, 10. It is about integrating also the medicine work into your life.
Absolutely.
Like the seasons, because we're human beings. We're wired for experiencing, challenges. Challenge is never going to go away until we leave this body. So that's the primal work in my eyes. As long as we are in this body as humans breathing, we're always going to experience unwanted emotions, challenges. So, look at the traditional way of using plants and other medicines. Look at the land that I'm in, the UK, and we have the Celtics, the Druids. They had seasons for different plants, seasons to celebrate different cycles. So I think I hear you. We moved away from working with plants, and we sensitize everything. We package everything. We take the spirit out in a mundane life. And I feel like communing and bringing in the plants, whether nutritionally, medicinally, even brewing a tea, should be a ceremony, a sacred experience, right? Having a meal with a family, having a time in your own just for breathing and reflection with a cup of tea that you brewed, not you bought it in some packaging that has chemicals in it, but you could pick some, mints. Like my mom did some mints outside just the front porch. I can't tell you, every summer it keeps giving. She's like, I've only done this once. And we keep collecting. It's like unbelievable. Nature keeps giving, and we've forgotten this. So I really appreciate that valuable sharing. Yuri, I have now time to ask you, how do you guys facilitate, support people? I know you work more on the spiritual aspect and the spiritual framework with the medicine. Is there anything you find valuable to share with us? Because I know that some of your listeners, some of your people that work with you guys can listen to this, and some of my listeners who are interested in the traditional way of working with the plants. What would you like to say? Whatever comes to your mind and you feel called to sharing.
Thank you, Susan. Another beautiful question. Talking about the work afterwards, because I will start from the point of the ceremony. And this is people who, again, been joining us in our ceremonies, in our work. I'm always mentioned this in the open circles, that it's very important for people to just accept themselves, because this is the space when they can be themselves. We creating home, because home is the place where you can be yourself, when you don't have to pretend, you don't have to wear the mask, you are who you are. You're walking in pajamas, this sort of style, attitude to it. And it's very beautiful for me personally to see people leaving the last day and comparing the way they came. And I think this is the biggest gift, just to witness it on the point of people going through the struggles, through the personal issues, feeling like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready, or I don't know if I'm capable to do it, or I don't know, the space, it's not sure, I feel discomfortable because the people is here who I never meet before. We all humans, and it's all understandable. But the biggest reward as well for us to see that difference, and I'm always saying this to people, look how you came now, and see yourself in 3 or 4 days or the week after the depends on the work we're providing to you and this safe space. And it's a huge difference, I must say. People feel that you can be yourself. You can, at least, if it's 1% in their hearts being open, this is for us is the biggest feeling of the gratitude and the huge meaning that we showed on our examples that we can do it, and we are doing it. It's like this process is 100% trust. And after the journey, of course, it's we trying to keep up the spirit of the people on a way that when we finish the retreats, when we finish work with the plant medicine, it's really hard to integrate in society, because you feel so open, you feel fragile, you feel really innocent in some point, and you feel this, that the world is around, is still pushing from all the sides, and you feel that amount of stress, and you open for energy. So what we're doing from our points, we supporting with the simple calls, with the simple messages. We just keep the contact each other, and we got the integration process in some point, explaining to people, be please patient, don't be harsh on yourself. Yes, it is difficult. And you remember that when you've been on retreat, people coming for such a different reasons. Someone wants to work with their trauma, someone is really depressed, someone wants to work with their present conditions, some to want to work just to learn how to let go. Someone don't feel the emotions, which is very common in society right now. And from our point, we explaining that remember the lessons. I think this is the best, how to say it, not the solution, but best way to integrate. Because again, mentioning Naisha, she always saying one sentence, which is like one of my best quotes, which I love to say it from her. World, you are different, but world is still the same. This is what you have to really take it, not to trying to change the world in one go, because again, as we talking about the aspect of how long the medicine been here and how long we are here. And just be patient, be observer if you're not sure, be not harsh to yourself. That's what the medicine teaches us. It's showing you, yes, the world is big, the possibilities, the energies, it's everything here. This is the lesson, but it doesn't mean that you have to go and solve it out immediately, because you're just a human. Don't underestimate the medicine and don't overestimate yourself. Just be patient, because it's important, not the quantity, let's say, but the quality. If you would do, example, we mentioned other people like Bruce Lee, which is his philosophy is very interesting to me personally. He was saying, I'm not afraid from the fighter who know 1,000 of the punches. I'm afraid of the fighter who was practicing one punch 1,000 times. So this is the point. It's just slowly, nicely, gently, presently, here and now. And again, if we make mistake, we don't have to really blame ourselves in that point. If we make mistakes and we can really understand why, just forgive yourself in that case, and try to be gentle to the others, to understand that we are society, and your brain and your heart is your heart. and your brain is your brain. So you can't really project on a point, oh, you're not understanding that there's something wrong with you and you need to do this and that. Be your own teacher, don't teach the others. This is something like that. Yeah.
I love that. Thank you so much. I'm hearing that you guys are dealing more with what arises, challenges, the personal and interpersonal relationship challenges, traumas, all of those. You guys are dealing with those material, that those kind of things arises, then actually serving the medicine, because serving the medicine is the easy part, right? Creating the ceremony space, opening the circle, all of these are simple and easy. So it's the aftermath of dealing with what arises and dealing with people that are finding it very difficult to let go of their conditioning and adaptations and the coping mechanisms and the illusions and how they've lived so far. Do you know, one of my favorite topics that I talk a lot in our integration programs, Yuri, is that sometimes we hang on not to change because we're afraid of that resentment, how long we wasted time. It's the, for me, the deep self-awareness work has been more about accepting that I have spent a lifetime wasting on unnecessarily, you know, things that shouldn't have happened. But that's okay. So this is the thing that I faced with accepting. It wasn't really difficult to let go of adaptations, or at least manage them, at least integrate some of those behaviors. But the biggest thing was accepting that you lived so much, you know, so many years of your life that you could have do it differently. So I think that carries a lot of energy, pain, resentment, regret. I think that's why people shy away from really confronting what is it that they're dealing with, especially if they're older. I remember Naisha was saying one time, it's easy to work with young people. It's a lot harder with the older people because they carry so much more deeper resentment, regret. And there's a lot to accept. That's beautiful. Yuri, quick question, just a quick few questions before I let you go. I could keep you here all day, honestly.
Yeah, me neither. I can stay with you for a while.
So just a few quick questions as we're coming to the end of our conversation. What happens, how do you guys deal with when people have like psychosis? Their world is shattered and they're finally ripped into being, you know, letting go of the illusion. Some of those stories, like, how do you deal with that?
This is another very good practical question, I must say. So first of all, you mentioned the ceremonies, like obviously the integration process is the hardest for the people, is true. But the ceremonies also, it's all part of process. Again, the way we're working, we dedicate ourselves for 100%. So it's starting from setting up to create the space, to hold the space, to do the work in physical and spiritual aspect. It takes a lot. So again, we're not talking about the other centers or the way how the people providing the ceremonies. We know what we are doing. And it's also important to know not to overestimate yourself as well. And again, our main motto is, again, quality, not the quantity. So we are responsible for people in a spiritual way and the physical way as well. So we're taking it very seriously from the beginning when the people want to join us. And this is the point of the psychosis or the schizophrenia symptoms, which is we're taking the health part very seriously, because this is the number one priority, is we are in physical bodies, come on. The way we're working, so we're providing the interview with the people. So personally, I'm meeting every single person who wants to attend the ceremony, and we have the video interview, and I have a set of questions which I'm asking regarding the health, regarding the intentions as well. And from that, I'm using a lot of my intuition, let's say, and feel the person, how we can help. And I can tell you that it's so many openings coming when I started to do it more deeply, as I have all the participants who want to join us is going through me first. and I open in so many aspects of it, of the human nature, of my even inner potential as well. So it's helping me as well to learn some things through that. And when the people going through the stages with the physical difficulties, let's say the psychosis could be, triggered by the physical aspect or the genetic as well, or it also could be the work of the lower frequencies, we know, the demons or attachments. And Naisha had a beautiful talk about this as well. So it's, if anyone would be interested, you can have a look on it. So if we talk about the psychosis, we need to know, first of all, what it triggers. So if we talk about the layers of the frequencies, which being for the solid time, or the person got the demon with him, on him, and taking him over, which is sometimes happening. Again, we choosing if it's safe for the person and the other participants to work. If not, we may offer the private ceremonies where we meet in it, and we work with that energies, because we take ourselves as a translator between the medicine and the participant. Like we're introducing the medicine to the person, and then when medicine is in, medicine doing the work. And we get just holding and creating space, at the same time shifting the energies and rising up the frequencies. If it's a group, again, we just have to be very careful so it wouldn't affect the others. It's very important. In some points, unfortunately, people can't join the plant medicine because it could affect everyone, including us. Again, we are very careful with this. Mentioned this 3 times, I think, as the safety, the number one priority for everyone is the physical and spiritual space as well. That's why our attitude to the work with plant medicine, it's not a hobby, it's our life. This is the lifestyle. We're living with that. And you can't be taking it very just on a basic level and touch the surface saying it should be fine. No, it's not like that. As I said, again, some people, medicine is not for everyone, as you mentioned, Susan. That means it's the other practices could be good to start with. I would mention the holotropic breathwork, please. But it's also have to be guided with the person who know how to react if anything comes out, to know how the person could get back into the body if you got the very deep astral projection, or the hypnotherapy is also, or the floating. It's so many different practices to start with. And going slowly to another level, as example, if the person feel, as it's called for the plant medicine, yeah, it could be, but not now. So some people taking it on really right way. And in my experience, the last person who did it 2 years ago, we declined him because the gentleman is in very bad spiritual stage, I would say. And he produced a lot of bad things. For 2 years, he's been doing many practices, and now he's ready to join us. So I'm very glad for his progress. Some people would give up on that stage, and it's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, I love that. Oh, can we open a window here? This is beautiful. This is beautiful that you provide this. See, this is the kind of work I love. For example, after screening somebody, realizing that they're not good fit to sit in a ceremony with a big experience of ayahuasca. So you guys guide them into different lighter versions of the modalities where they build that inner capacity, whether it's a year, 6 months, year, 2 years, you just said 2. Yeah. That's wonderful. Now he's able to having that capacity to sit with the medicine. Isn't that amazing? And
it is absolutely.
And this is the reason why I have these conversations, because harm reduction, safety is the number one priority in working with medicines. And thank you for sharing that. I think this is wonderful, because I also don't want people to fall into, which I do sometimes speak to some people who have genetic disposition for schizophrenia and some mental disorders, that then they are being refused by the retreat centers. So they kind of feel disappointed and kind of feel really hopeless. And I love that you give that little bit of a hope. Go out there and use other modalities, build yourself up and increase your capacity, and let's talk again. I think this is a wonderful way to approach it. Yeah.
This is also, just to close that question, it's important to have like the attitude, because people react in different way, I must say, because some people are really not happy, coming to the point like, I want to join, I want to pay, why I can't join? And I'm explaining, and sometimes people take it on the wrong point, but it's also my personal work not to judge them for that. Because before I was meeting my self-judgment on it, it's like, why are you doing this? Why? If I'm open to you, and people take it on the wrong page. And I just become so neutral, so open. So I produce the openness. And this is the choice of the people to take it or not. If they take it in the same way, then it works. So it's nothing what could be controlled in a way, let's say, in a logic way. It's a connection, which we got the space. I'm open to you. If you want, you can open. If not, I don't regret for my time. I'm here for you. I project it. And if it's, again, coming back to the previous sentence where I mentioned, if it's 1% of you can hear it or 1% of you can feel it, it's amazing.
No, I love this attitude, honestly. I know you'll upset people. Nobody wants to be rejected, turned down from,
of course,
from a screening to a, they could have waited for this so long. They could have, saved up a lot of money for this, because some people hold on to these, it's a dream that for them that this is it. Like, this is the final finishing line for me. Like, they give everything, every hope, every ounce of hope in them, tied to this experience. And imagine just turning them down. I could just see the world crashing down with rejection, with all of the things. But I love that you guys are also not dropping them out, but also coming from a place of like, let's build you up. Let's grow that capacity till you're. And you know what I love again? The fact that the person takes it on board and shows that commitment. Isn't that beautiful?
As I mentioned, this is the best reward you can see. Like, wow, he's back or she's back. Amazing. Even going through their own process, maybe it could be anger, disappointment, or judgment. We just don't take it. We give you time. And I think this is the most valuable thing what we could give to each other, because I am so grateful for people in my life who give me this opportunity. And one of these people is Naisha. She gave me a lot of time to understand my self-work, to go through my own battle, to kill my own illusion, to go through the difficulties. She gave me that time. And as I mentioned to her, it's the thank you is not enough to say, but I put everything, all the gratitude to this thank you. And I put this gratitude to every single person who I meet in my life, who gave me any type of their time, even one look. I'm very grateful for that.
It's beautiful. And I do believe that, not being able to, accept it into a ceremony or something that you've been waiting for so long, for me, is probably the start of a incredible breakthrough and deep work already. Like, dealing with that rejection in itself is a massive deep work within ourselves. And then your end as well, from the opposite end of this, you are doing this for somebody, coming from a very responsible way, responsible space in your heart, in your learning, in your experience, to protect them. That there's always a potential of receiving a lot of negativity around it. So handling that, I could just see how amazing work and growth. It's an opportunity always, right? That's wonderful. Brilliant. Okay. Any last words of wisdom, Yuri, from the lens of your world? What are we dealing with when we work with the medicine? And what are your advice to the listeners if they're interested ever to even embark on such a healing journey? What would you say?
Thank you again. Thank you for this opportunity to answer that question. Again, I can only what I can do. I can share only from my perspective how I see this world and what makes me who I am and what makes me happy. Because I can say that I am happy. Actually, I am happy. I'm happy to be alive. I'm happy to appreciate what I have. How to come for that? I think everyone has to find their own way. But for me, simplicity is the key, because we can come on from the theory part to life and these difficulties and trying to put in a logic way. It's a good game, I would say. If you feel comfortable in that, go for that. But I think everyone have to find their own way. So it's not universal answer to that. If someone could tell you, it's going to be only their opinion. And they try to put their opinion on you. So find your own voice, find your own way. I'm always saying to people, just do what makes you happy. Create all the time. Be happy because the sun is up today. Because someone can't see that sun, but you can. This is already so much. We got so much that we even want more, but we got everything going. Everything, absolutely. We got the tools. They're here. We just need to know how to work with them. But as we are all the same, but at the same time, we are all different with our approach to it. So I think we have to find our own way and make the things what really makes us happy. If you always wanted to make a music, learn how to play guitar. Play guitar. Why not?
Take action.
Yeah, as simple as that. And again, with these actions, just do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to start. Don't be to start, because universe will see, oh, it's a process. I need to support it because this is how I'm working. Life is dynamic. It's not static. If you're stuck and you think everything good, I would say you just stuck, basically, because it's always life about movement. It's, how to say, the dead fish is follow the stream, but the fish which is alive always going against it. Just be here and now, be love, feel the love, try to see the love if you can't feel it. So I wouldn't suggest nothing in that case, because I could only share my experience, and I can say that I'm happy where I am right now, and I'm happy and very grateful that I can feel it, that every day is full of life. So every night when I'm going to sleep, I left life, and I'm saying thank you so much for that, because it was incredible. Doesn't matter, maybe it wasn't, but it was incredible because I were alive. I could make people smile, I could make people laugh, I could make people cry if I want. I'm just choosing the way. So suggestion, I would say, listen your voice and make yourself happy. This is very important. And be loved.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful. You reminded me of one of my online mentors. She says, just because. Don't look for a reason.
That's good one. Just because. That's good one.
Like, just because. Be grateful. Just because. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you so much. And also, thank you for all the hard work that you're putting in and doing everything that you do. We appreciate you so much. And we're sending you guys a whole lot of love and hoping to cross paths very soon again. And we'll put all your links in the show notes for our listeners to connect with you and chat to you and pick your brain on, what does this journey look like, and get some advice, how to begin, how to even and learn and educate themselves more through the experiences that you guys providing.
Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you so much for watching this and who we're meeting. And thank you. It was a great talk and a great opportunity to be and sharing this space. And thank you for everything what you're doing, Susan, personally, because it's very meaningful and it helps a lot of people.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Hope you guys love this conversation, and please do not be shy. Talk to us, drop a comment, say hello, and start a conversation. Let's keep the conversation going, and learn to find your own way and be happy. Just because we're alive. So see you guys on the next one. Bye for now. Much love.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Much love.
Thank you so much for joining us. Psychedelic Conversations podcast is designed to educate, inform, and expand awareness. For more information, please head over to psychedelicconversations.com. You can also share with your friends or leave a review so that we can reach more people. You can also join us in our private Facebook group to keep the conversation going. This show is for information purposes only, and it is not intended to provide mental health or medical advice. Thanks for listening.